I know you're gonna dig this.
There we go! Hey guys, welcome back to Dre Racing, and today we're tackling another big job of replacing the clutch in the Fiesta ST.
Yeah, we did an unboxing video of that Wush Stage 3 clutch, and today we're going to show you how we're going to put it in. We don't have any manuals, never done one of these, but I've done front drive clutches before, so what's the first step, Ricky?
I believe to make things easier, we're going to get rid of the cowl here. So because we know eventually we're going to have to pull off the transmission and the engine's going to drop.
So we got to support the engine. So we take all the charge piping out of the top, get the battery out of the way. To get the cowl out, when we did the turbo, we found out you got to take the headlights out.
Yeah.
So we take everything off the top, get it out of our way, battery box, everything before we get underneath. And then it's half shafts and supporting the engine, that type of thing, and drop the transmission out.
Right, and it's another one of those videos. It's not exactly how to. We can kind of show you how we do it, but along the way, when we learn things and find things out, we will point out a pro tip kind of deal where, hey, when you're doing this, maybe you should do it this way. But again, not exactly how you do it, but the way we're doing it.
So we laid out a new clean work surface, getting some of our metric tools out, place to put things. We've got baggies to store bolts if we need to, mark things, got tape, and man, it's time to just get after it. First thing we got to do underneath is drain the transmission fluid. Need to replace that anyways.
Yeah, when it's time to start tearing that apart, yeah.
So we'll get the transmission fluid out, but let's get everything from the top out. So that's headlights, cowl, and let's get after it.
Battery. Simple stuff up top, so yeah, we'll just get after it.
All right.
All right, so we got the cowl out.
Headlights.
Headlights, which are amazingly long for this car. You don't believe it till you're actually holding them.
We still got to take this plate out here, but we got the battery box out. There are 4 screws holding the ECU in. Take the ECU off.
I was actually surprised that the ECU was right up front and accessible like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like just buried in cars, but that was super easy to get to. Yeah, taking all this stuff apart, I wish I would have known when we put the big turbo in, because that probably would have saved us hours. Yeah. Probably 3 hours at the very beginning of it.
Take the headlights off. So
yeah.
You gotta take this out, right? That's an 8.
And a quick tip, might seem hard, but the headlights, they are, or they not that, like the windshield wipers are terrible to get off. So you just, that's one of the things you just got to wrestle. So we're taking this off, and then we're going to try to find a way to support the engine. So when we get to taking apart the transmission, everything stays afloat. All right.
Okay, the shift cables, it's a steel ball and it's a plastic, and basically you just pop it off. There's nothing to it. You've got, for the cables, you got a screw here, up and down, and the back is a rubber mounted.
Way back there.
Way back here. That's what we struggled with. That's attached to the transmission. Now this is all loose, so we should be able to drop the transmission down when we get to that point.
Yes. These cables here, they might seem like there's something else to them, but yeah, you just gotta struggle just a little bit to pop them up.
Just pop them up. We'll put a little bit of grease on it before we put it back together, and
right.
Yeah.
I don't think we took anything else apart in that amount of time, but
okay, we're gonna figure out how to get this engine supported with what we have around here. I don't have a proper tool, but
yeah, we're watching a guy. He had like this fancy beam that went across and with a chain and everything, but
that's what we need.
Yeah, so we'll figure out something.
There's electrical connection down here on the transmission. We want to take that out. About everything's been 10 millimeters so far. Okay, we got to take the connection for the slave cylinder out, and there's a little steel clip. Ricky's already popped out, and the line just pulls out. So it was being pretty stubborn, and what we found,
it's really hard to see its way down in there.
Yeah, right there. And all I did is stick my screwdriver in there, turned a little bit, and she's loose. Yeah.
Is it leaking stuff or no?
It might start to. Never mind our sketchiness of our engine support. We think it's going to work. It's not going to go anywhere, I hope. Yeah, Harbor Freight's got the right tool. We'd go get it, but that's 2 hours of driving plus the gas and horsing around on a Sunday afternoon. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too pricey. It's like $75, and it's something we would literally use a lot. But, yeah, it's...
Pay no mind.
Right, so...
Don't try this at home. This
will hold. So we think we got everything done up top that we need to do. Now it's time to move the bottom, which we pretty much... I believe we just got to take off the charge pipes and...
Starter?
I think the starter will come later.
Okay.
Oh, and then we need to take off the wheels and tires and
the pinch bolts on the
control arm.
Yeah.
So, just basic, I guess, kind of suspension stuff next. But so far,
and then
no.
When we're ready to drop it, we just reach up here and grab it here.
Right.
Drop it off. All right. Let's see what we got.
All right. Here's kind of what I got going on here. I'm gonna take off this charge pipe. I think I gotta take off this one, or at least the electrical connection, and the rear motor mount, which I got from Whoosh. I think we showed that one before. And in the meantime, also, I'm gonna be draining transmission fluid, which is that there. It's an 8mm hex or Allen head. So stuff's pretty self-explanatory. That is
I'm gonna pull the wheels off.
Yep, because yeah, because we're gonna have to take apart all that jazz anyway. So that's what we're going with. Right.
These pinch bolts are real bare, so what we've done is we ran a small
Chisel?
like a wedge chisel, but you have to get sticking all the way through. Then we're tapping it with the hammer, and you can see we're getting a gap.
Right, and you want to make sure you're not tearing your boot while you're doing this.
Yeah. So
and then it's got quite a ways, and then we're pulling the biggest pry bar and pulling down. And it's seeming to go, because we were trying a whole bunch of different methods, and this one is, this one's seeming to work pretty good.
So we'll get a bigger pry bar.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's been a struggle.
So when we last left you, we were saying how easy these were to pop out after we figured it out. Well, it turns out, no, it was still very, very difficult, and we struggled for a little bit longer.
So you have to take the tie rod end out as well. There's about, I think it's a 5mm Allen in the top, 18mm wrench.
Yeah. And so then at that point, once you got this out, got the tie rod off, you literally just pull this out as hard as you can, and this will flex right out of there.
So then we're able to pop the half shaft out. So
key thing, though, you have to worry about is what we were struggling with, why that was coming out. The whole suspension was sagging to the point to where it was, I guess you called it lower.
It was bottoming out, so we couldn't go any lower.
Yeah, bottom out, in there.
So what we did is we took a strut spring compressor, and we tightened up the suspension to give us a little bit more travel.
Yeah, and it was just enough. It doesn't have to go by much, but just enough.
Just enough. We got this apart. We got the half shaft out.
And we're about halfway on the other side, but we're going to take what we learned and apply it to the next time we work on it.
Yeah, we burned up a lot of time today.
Yeah, it took a lot of time, and Sunday night, so yeah. We will come back to it hopefully in a few days or something here soon. So
go ahead. There's a few things I can do on here. Take this side apart.
Not easy, but it is doable.
Okay, it's a few days later. We're working on the other side. Working by myself here. So I took the spring compressor and I tightened up that spring to give us a little more room, because this likes to bottom out, this control arm. So you can't pull it down that far. So I was able to pry, take the pinch bolt out, pry down, pop that out, and that's the side. We got the tie rod end. Again, that's 18 millimeter. Screwed it back after I busted off with an impact, screwed it back down, a couple taps with a hammer, and it came right out. So the next step is to get this half shaft out of the transmission. And it looks like I'm gonna take it out by the support right here. Find out what size wrench that is. Maybe it's a 13. In any case, I'll set up the camera and see if I can get this thing out. Okay, it looks like it's just two 13 millimeter nuts. There's a stud. Probably can't see what I'm doing. Hopefully that bolt isn't spinning. I don't think so. Should have took this charge pipe all the way out, Ricky. That's got a Y, that's why I left it. It's two pieces. I'll let it go this time. That's pretty clean under here for 120,000 miles and a few Iowa winters. All right. Okay, that's the strap. Let's see if this pulls loose. I'll get over here and see if I can give it a pull, see what happens. All right. Definitely wants to come out of the transmission, and it is. Let's get it over to the side. All right. Camera over here. So we pulled the half shaft out. I think I have to look at the starter or something. See if that's in the way. Sorry about that. There it is, half shaft's out. You can see the teeth on the flywheel. We're getting close. I think I'm gonna wait till Ricky gets here, hopefully tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and pull this transmission out.
Wow, come back to the shop after not being here, you know, for almost a week, and it seems as though you actually did something.
Yeah, I cleaned.
Wow, that's...
I labeled my toolbox. I can find my tools now.
Wow. And you actually worked on the car too.
I worked on the car and I put things away.
You guys will see that clip of where he actually worked on it. So I think we're to the point now, I believe, where we can unbolt this transmission. But we were just out in the cold. So
yeah.
we're gonna warm up for a minute here and then we'll get to work. All right, guys, we kind of have a plan of attack here. Because we're obviously have, we said we're going from the bell housing to the engine.
Right.
So the kind of ideas I'm thinking, we're gonna hit all the bolts up as high as we can from the top. And because we're gonna raise the car up, and for what I've seen on YouTube, you slide a table up underneath, and when we're ready to drop it, will be there. So we'll hit everything on the top, go underneath, get it from the bottom, and hopefully we'll have everything all set up and ready to go for when we drop it. But things aren't as clear up here as they are down there. So you're gonna need a light and try to spot them, find what size everything is. So it might be a few minutes before we even start wrenching on these. All right, so we got all the top bolts out for how many there was, but now I think we got to the point where we can get everything from underneath. We'll obviously get more light in here, and we can also probably get the impact on most of these to make things a little bit easier too.
And we got a couple motor mount bolts or transmission mount bolts on the top.
Right, holding in
so
so when we
this
get all
thing out.
yeah, so when we get all out, it doesn't, you know, come crashing down. But
I hope our wood holds.
yeah,
So I tried to buy the proper engine brace, and Harbor Freight didn't have one in stock, even though
it's claimed it did on the
they claimed
website.
They did, but they didn't have one, so I went there, didn't have it, so we'll get by.
This is what it is. So yeah, let's get the wrench on these bolts.
Get it within an inch or so. All good right there. So I'm trying to pry because I think that's more useful.
Oh, I feel like something's happening there. Ah. I feel like
Hang on.
I want to bend the shaft in it.
Move it out. That's what it wants.
Move it all.
You concentrate on that and I'll get on this end.
Yeah, let me stand up maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't good. That's not good at all. Trying to stand up.
Why?
Is that a bigger gap now?
Huge.
All right. Drop it down.
Okay. If once we drop it down, if it's still hanging, I want to get this whole table out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop it down.
Okay. Let's get the table out of the way.
Sorry.
Okay. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
You gotta pick up on your
What
end.
is-
What?
This mount. I'm running out of gas. I got.
Hang on. It's fine. What? Oh, there we go. How'd that taste? Okay, are you ready?
Grab it. Pick it up.
We're stuck on this stupid thing right here, but if we can take it, oh my God. Hey, look at this. It ain't going anywhere, I got it. We need like a 10 millimeter. Take this some bitch out. Oh my God. You just pry it towards me. I got it. Okay.
Sometimes I gotta get the point.
All right, set this down. Oh, I hope we got that on film.
Let's roll on.
All right, I shut this off a second.
I shut that off a while ago.
This? Well, Ricky, it's too bad you turned the camera off over there. So how'd that mount taste?
Oh.
So we should have took this.
Hindsight,
when
you
take that mount off.
You take this all apart. Take that out right away.
Because that's what was hanging
That was
us up.
mostly what was hanging us up.
Yeah, well, we didn't know. Now we do. And then I popped it loose and you caught it in your teeth. Did it hit you in the face or just miss you?
No. I kind of caught on my arm. I gotta look back on the video, but...
Yeah, then you scream like a girl and...
Well, it was coming down fast and I'm yelling and you're still up there. I'm like, what is he still doing? He sees it coming
I'm
down.
too busy laughing my ass off. All right.
So there's the slave cylinder that we're going to be replacing.
Yeah, replace that.
Because
why not?
yeah, got a new one. So.
All right. So, yeah, this right here was holding us up too.
Not really.
Well, a little bit in the end. Anyways, yeah, getting this out of the way. I think going back shouldn't be too bad. All right.
I don't know. It's not going to be easy.
So
and our blocks of wood held.
It's holding. I don't know how much stress is on there, but it's not dumb if it works.
I mean, I'm under it, so.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't want to breathe clutch dust and whatnot.
Oh. Yeah.
But
yeah, don't do that.
find out what size your bolts are. And let's buzz the bolts off.
Yeah. Yeah, tonight at a minimum, I want to get this off.
Yeah, we got to get the clutch off. We got to
see what everything looks like.
We got to get the flywheel off. It looks like, start with the 10 millimeter. And it's kind of like spring loaded, so just work your way around. Is it?
Yep, 10.
All right. You might be able to get the impact on there, maybe? The small one? Well, break them loose by hand. All right, I'll see if I can set this up. Okay, Ricky, you buzzed a bunch of 10 millimeter bolts out.
All right, here comes the pressure. Wow, that pressure. Whoa, here comes everything.
Okay. Take it over the workbench, and we'll take a look at the clutch in a second. Or take a look at the flywheel in a second.
All right.
Ooh. That is plenty of clutch. Why are we doing this?
Wow. Okay. This is 123,000 miles. Either clutches are just getting made out of better stuff, or we just are really good at driving them.
So you got a little bit of hot spots.
Yeah, but we got new pressure plates, so I mean,
yeah. So set that back down. Let's get the new clutch.
Man, why are we doing this? This probably could have lasted drag week.
Oh man.
Oh well.
This is painful. New clutch.
That's in the back of the car.
Okay. I just thought we'd compare thickness.
So how does this?
Okay, let me just get in there and take a peek.
All right.
And then I'll show you. Okay. So yeah, you've got hot spots, Ricky.
Yeah, I figured as much probably, but
Yeah.
so I have to send that off to get it machined or.
So you need some Torx. See this? It's a Torx bit.
Yeah.
So get a Torx socket and pop these out.
All right.
And that'll come off the flywheel, and then see what we got. Get it on the bench. Why don't
My skin back.
you clean your...
It came out, it peeled my skin back. Look at that.
Well, there's some brake clean and paper towels.
Oh, some blue paper towels. For show only.
Just for show only. They cost too much. If you don't know, that's a running joke in my shop. We don't use the blue towels.
There we go.
Okay, for the record, what size is that, Ricky?
Oh, it is a 14.
What?
E14. Where's our adapter? Adapty.
Yep. Don't strip it out.
Floor it?
Floor it?
Oh, might need a shorter extension here.
Yeah, I would do that.
One doesn't do it. Two will do it.
Rubber looser too? Let's see that bolt. Yeah, it's a nice fine thread, metric.
All right, upon further inspection, we do have some hot spots. I mean,
So, yeah,
it's
we'll
to
get-
be expected for,
Yeah.
treating this thing like a hot rod, drag racing it, but it's still at 123,000 miles.
So looking at the new clutch versus the old clutch, we won't need to even put calipers on, but
Say probably, it's really hard to tell on camera, but it's about half life, I would say, if not a little less. Needed done eventually, but it didn't need done at this moment.
yeah, it wasn't slipping yet.
So, yeah, it needed done, especially for the purpose of the car.
And we'll go ahead and put this back in the box. We're ready.
So we don't lose it. But yeah, we're gonna change out the slave cylinder, and we'll probably do a video on itself. Probably kind of like how to do that.
We'll wrap this up as how to remove your transmission. Take that completely out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're still watching.
So yeah, like I said, it's not, like I said at the very beginning, it's not how to do it, it's how we're doing it. It may be wrong, right, or indifferent, but as you can see, the transmission and everything is out. And hopefully I showed you some tips along the way that kind of maybe helped you get out a little bit smoother than we did, because it was a little bit of a fight. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.